You're now looking at a list of languages that are offered in the Spoken Language Services series of self-teaching language courses. Let me begin to leaf through this Spoken Telugu manual so that you can get an idea what it is like while I talk about the series in general. The Spoken Language Services series is quite similar in many respects to the Foreign Service Institute courses, the FSI courses that I talked about last week, which makes me think that it seems that the FSI courses are much better known. You can buy them in stores in the Barron's version, and they seem to be more available in libraries and on the How to Learn Any Language discussion forums. The FSI courses are quite popular and often discussed and debated, whereas now that I think about it, I don't recall ever having seen the spoken language courses, spoken language service courses, mentioned or discussed, which is a shame, because if you like the FSI courses, you will like these as well, and if you don't like the FSI courses, you might very well like these. They are similar, and I believe that in their origin and inception they are the same, and I think because of that many people attribute to the FSI courses that they're imputed to be what these courses really are. Some of them, at least, the earlier ones, are the outgrowth of military investigation in the World War II era. The United States found itself in a position of becoming an international imperial police force, whereas it had formerly been an isolated people, and so they needed to communicate with other people from all over the world whom they probably didn't know anything about. And so scholars, linguists from the American Society of Linguistics or the American Council of Learned Societies were called in to do original research, pioneering linguistic research, and write probably the first manual ever for some of these languages. So I think that a lot of these courses are still very good and very solid for that reason, even the ones that are 60 years old. And then I believe that what happened is that the government took some of these manuals and sort of changed them to make them better for training in their institutes. And so that's another difference between them. The FSI courses are really, as we've seen, that you can certainly use them for self-instruction, but they're not intended for that. They're part and parcel of an intensive training program, whereas these SLS courses, although some of the earlier ones also give you that feeling, talking about working with a group leader, you soon realize that they're also talking about using the recorded material that comes with them in place of the group leader, and that these are inherently more suited, these SLS courses, to self-instruction. Another main difference is that although here you can see they're talking about drills, the drills in these courses, they do not have that concept of overlearning that we talked about last time, massive repetition, but actually they're just sort of example sentences, sample sentences that are worked into the grammatical explanation that follow after each lesson. I would say that the spoken language courses have a somewhat of a more scholarly, serious feel than the FSI courses, and also not that the FSI courses are at all uniform, but each spoken language service course really has its own individuality to it. This Spoken Persian is my father. Here's his signature. It's his book. He gave it to me, and he swears by it as being really the best introduction to colloquial spoken Persian that he's ever found. I haven't used it myself. I'll have to investigate it. And you can see that in this course here, they not only give you the transcription, but they do give you the native script as well, whereas in a lot of the other courses, both FSI and SLS tend to shy away from that. I think that early on in American linguistic exploration, that was just, for a lot of people, it was just a very strange concept not to write things in English, and so a lot of languages that don't need it at all, languages like, I don't know, Bulgarian or Russian or Greek that have fairly simple, slightly different alphabets, are given in what to me seems to be a rather tortured transcription system. But here you have both of them given here. The way that these courses work is like this. The difference between the FSI courses, here's a basic dialogue, a basic conversation. The difference of the FSI courses, they will, as I explained last time, they'll go through the dialogue sometimes 4 or 5 times, reading each word just in the target language one time and building up, breaking it up until they finally go through a straight read-through for you. Whereas in these courses, the SLS courses, they go through it probably only one time with the backwards breakup before they give you a straight read-through. But what they also do is in their backup breakup reading of it, they do it like this. They do sort of 1-2 reading first in English and then in the target language. So for this here, you would get here you would hear Mr. Smith talking, and he says they would say now, and then they would say hala, hala, which, what, kodum, kodum, to which, at which, kodum, kodum, airport, furudga, furudga, to arrive, residan, residan. At what airport have we arrived at now? Hala kodum furudga residim. You would hear hala kodum furudga residim. I should have read that a bit differently. I should have warned you, because some of these are 46, 50, 60 years old. Although I'm a partisan of older courses because they're better. Let me show you some of the, here are the tapes that come with the, these are the Telugu tapes. Clearly marked at what they go to, and a nice adaptation for that. Because of that 1-2 breakup and the reading of the English, these are quite suitable towards you if you want to just use them as audio only. That's very popular now, so these were kind of ahead of their time in providing that, and you can also edit them easily just to get the dialogue. And in that sense, because you have the dialogue in a bilingual text column, these are not unsimilar to the Asimil courses that I like so much. So it's really sort of a lot of happy medium in this. But I was saying that because some of these courses are quite old, World War II era, you get the American narrator on here sounding very much like Jimmy Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life. He would say, now, which, what, to which, at which, airport, to arrive. And so probably the native voice is along those lines. So you wouldn't want to make one of these courses your first recourse and only recourse to learning a contemporary spoken language, but to integrate it into your overall approach. Certainly that's a worthwhile thing doing. I'm saying they all have a different format. Here's the Albanian course, and most of them tend to be smaller. Maybe I can even focus in on it so you can see a few of the more courses that they added up to about 1980. I don't think they've done anything since then. So most of these courses are between 30 and 60 years old. And in this Albanian course, which really looks good, I'm tempted to learn Albanian just because I have it. They talk about the procedure here and some of their ideas. Again, they don't have the overlearning, but they do expect that you need between 300 and 600 hours of contact to begin to get founded in a language, and they give you 180 in these courses, and they expect you to spend to listen to each dialogue approximately 30 times. And this course doesn't have any drills. It just gives you the dialogue and then very good, thorough grammatical explanations. So apart from their manuals, they have this book here, which is really worth having. New Ways to Learn a Foreign Language is published by them, by Robert L. Hall, and this is one of the few books I've seen that's really valuable for giving you advice in how to learn a foreign language. Here's the table of contents, and I'm running out of time on this tape. I don't want to do that. Just let me say that I really value this course, and as I am currently trying to really get the momentum to start my own language school, an Academy of Polyglotry, and use my language collection here that I'm showing you in this series as the core of the research center. But if I'm ever in a position to expand in a systematic way, I'm certainly going to call up the spoken language series and say, send me your entire line, because it's worth preserving, it's worth having, and I think that if you're out to learn any of these languages, it would very much be worth your while to investigate the course that they have out in it, because it probably has something to add to your studies. So, Spoken Language Series, SLS.